So a lot of people think you need to sit in front of charts all day long, like it's another job. And I mean, it can be a job. You can make it that way, or you can make it a lot easier. So this question right here actually was inspired me by one of my one-on-one students because he had asked me like right now he has his job and he has his laptop up, and then he has his work computer and he trades as well. And he was asking me what I do, and I'll say, well, the way I trade now is not how I used to, right? I have an approach now where I pretty much set it up, and the real version of a sniper, not what they use on the internet, talking about sniper, like getting sniper entries, none of that crap, right? I mean like a real sniper, like in war, where you sit up and you wait till it comes in your sight, or deer hunting or something like that. If some of y'all are, from the country, like myself, like deer hunting, you sit and you wait, and that's what I do now. This is actually how I started having like my first, not only like $1,000 days, but just in general, like my profitable weeks. You know what I mean? So I wanted to break this down for you guys as well, for the YouTube family, so y'all can see it. And I'll break down exactly how I did it, how I do it now. And that way you can use it too, and hopefully use it to your benefit as well. Now, before we get started, first off, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've been before, of course, welcome back. My name is James Strong. I make videos about trading the financial markets, and investing in a stock market for long-term wealth and asset appreciation. I don't really believe in doing one or the other. I believe in doing both. My focus and fixation more has been on trading because I've realized people need to produce more income. And this is the content that more people seem like they want to watch from my audience. So I do that. But obviously, we're always investing in the market as well in other ways. Truthfully, I do a lot of things. And again, I'm a very private person to be on social media. I do a lot of things I don't talk about on here. So some people think I just trade futures. I don't, right? I trade futures. I started off trading Forex and CFDs. I still trade those. And then I'm also learning how to trade options right now. I have algorithm bots. I do quite a bit of things. So I believe in doing a lot to make sure that a lot in one field. So that's that. But again, for the sake of this video, I'm gonna focus on showing you guys this. Now, housekeeping rules. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're getting value. Don't be one of the weird people who watch all the videos and never subscribe. That's weird, bro. Number 2, if you're getting value, make sure you like it so YouTube knows to share the video. And number 3, man, make sure you share this video with somebody you love, somebody you care about, somebody you want to see win as well. Because it's things like this. I make this type of content because I wish I had this content along my journey, and also I want other people to have it. So be that light for somebody. Be that light. Send this to your mom, your dad, your uncle, your auntie, your brother, your sister, right? Your best friend. Send it to somebody who needs this information to help them along their journey, and be that light for them. Now, announcements. 1, if you want a strong foundation in the futures market with your trading, join my next Futures to Freedom Challenge, where I go over everything you need to have a strong foundation, go through A to Z on it. Number 2, I've been getting a lot of requests to get help. So I have one-on-one people, right? But some people are very early on their journey where they want. I have students too who are early on their journey. They do fine because they have very strong work ethic. And not saying that other people don't, but I've been getting requests basically to have a more foundational program. So this is something I'm thinking about working on. So I'm going to have a wait list down below. You can sign up for that. Just DM me on Instagram. Let me know you guys want this too if you're interested, and then also sign up for the wait list below. And this is going to be more for the development of. I'll probably include futures and Forex and CFDs within this, because all trading is pretty much the same once you learn market structure. So you can join that below. And also, if you're interested in taking your trade to the next level, it's not necessarily an amount of time, but if you're looking to either fast track your way to profitability consistently, or if you've been struggling for a while and you need help getting over that edge, whether it's psychologically or technically, it's probably a combination, truthfully. And you also can apply to work one-on-one with me down below. Now, let's get into the meat of this video. To get straight into it, the first thing that I did when I made my first $1,000 was I picked a very time efficient strategy. Now, this actually wasn't my first 1,000. Let me make this clear. When I say my first 1,000, I mean my first 1,000 without watching the charts. I had made money before doing all the scalping and stuff, but it's really not consistent. This is when I started getting consistent. This is when it started getting, like, not to say easy, because again, market cycles, I don't like to ever say things are easy. Market cycles change. Market sentiment changes. the emotions of the investors in the market changes. A lot of things change with seasonality and time, all these different things, right? But when I started getting super consistent, this is what I did. I picked a time efficient strategy. There are certain things when you're trading that are just not time efficient. So like sitting there all day, like I said earlier on one of my students, like watching on the 5-minute chart, trying to look for a setup, that is not practical. You know what I mean? Like, because you can miss that setup, you can do all type of things. That causes you to start trying to revenge trade because you got FOMO, you missed out on it. It's not really worth it. So the first thing I did was I picked a time efficient system. I focused on a setup that works during specific windows. Not that way I ain't gotta grind all day. System can be built around some kind of higher time frame, right? Now I say some kind because again, the stuff I teach, it as long as the time frames have synchronization between one another, you're fine. So it doesn't matter if it's a 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, 3 hour, daily. But you want to have some kind of synchronization between multiple time frames. So start off with some kind of bigger one. 1 hour is one I like. I like to use 1 hour quite often. And then I refine down to the 5-minute. And because of this, I have a very tight execution, very tight session time frame. And all I need to do now is set alerts around key levels and literally wait. I just set up and wait. If it triggers me for the day, great, I get in. If it doesn't, I don't. Simple as that. And this way, I'm not just looking to be in the market, but I'm actually looking to wait for my trades. What does my plan say? My system say? That right there was game changer number one. Number two, I built a simple, repeatable system. No indicators, nothing complex. I never wanted to rely on indicators just because like all indicators is data processed with a little bit of delay. There's nothing wrong with them. I try to use EMAs and all type of stuff, but I just realized like, man, like this wasn't really it. And also I'm a very optimistic, paranoid person. So like I like to future proof a lot. I like to look ahead because I'm a problem solver. And so I never wanted to rely on indicators and then all of a sudden they stop working or they remove them from, like, for example, I know a guy who trades Forex and he has to have indicators. Like that's his whole edge is built on indicators. And so when MetaTrader was going through that issue in the US, he was like not panicking, but like low-key like, oh, he might be screwed. Because that's what he built over like 7 years. Like that's all he trades. So I just always wanted to learn how to trade just candlesticks. So I keep it simple just like that. I look at structure, I look at clean execution, and that's it. So literally I cannot have anything on my chart and I can trade. All I need are candlesticks. So keeping it simple is what really helped me too. Same entry logic every single time, right? You got price action, you got structure, you got confirmation. Obviously there's little nuances and all the type of stuff in between that. But that's the premise of everything. One good opportunity a day is plenty for me. And this is another thing I did was I reduced how many times I was trading. So I remember when I first was learning too, man, I had one day, man, I took 7 trades in a day. You know what I mean? Now, like it's something else when my students ask, I might take 3 trades in a week, right? I'd rather have 3 good trades in a week. I'm not saying some weeks it may not be 4 or 5. It depends on what the market presents. Some weeks it may not be none. It really just depends. And it also depends on which systems I have in play. So if I'm doing more than one, if I have my intraday, if I have my swing trade and stuff like that, yeah, I'm obviously going to trade more because I have a wider net of opportunities. If I have a longer asset watch list, right, all type of things. But what I did was I refined it. I had about 5 good assets, and I was on a higher time frame, and I would get 2 to 3 opportunities a week. That right there is also what set me up for consistency, because I started prioritizing being confident and consistent over just trying to make money. Next thing I did, I focused on staying disciplined with my risk. So a lot of times I'm a big proponent of risking a fixed dollar amount. I do not believe in risking fixed contracts at all because every asset moves different. Me risking 3 contracts on NAS is not the same as me risking 3 contracts on Canadian dollar or 3 contracts on gold. Every single one is going to have a different risk amount. And this is a lot of times too why people have so much bad psychology, because they're just risking on contracts and nobody ever taught them how to calculate closer to a dollar amount that they feel comfortable with. So again, these are things I teach my students. But I don't want to guess. I don't want to have emotion. I'm not trying to do none of that, man. Like, I'm going to aim for a higher risk reward because that person fits my personality. I like being able to lose 2-3 times and one trade makes it all back. That's just me. You don't have to do that. But I focused also on having a risk reward that was 2 or greater. I at least minimum need to double my money because this is statistically proven. The lower your risk reward, and like scalping and stuff, you have a higher chance to fail. The higher you go up, like swing traders fail the least. That's also why I've basically learned how to swing trade too now. I mean, it's the higher you go up, the basically the higher chances because you don't have to touch as much, pretty much. You don't do as much. There's less fake outs. There's so many things, that come into that. But this right here is what helped me protect my account, all these different things. So I could stack those wins and start building momentum. And again, like that's what I would show my students in the group. That's how I paid for the Panama trip, from trading, just from a kind I had on the side. Like it started to really compound my confidence. And so next thing, I stopped trying to catch everything. Now this was something like I had to work on because I wanted to be like, oh shoot, like, well, okay, if I get up an hour earlier, I can catch all this extra money. Or, oh man, well, if I do this, I can ... And it's like, all right, bro, like, yeah, that's cool. But like, you got to take into consideration, like, yo, you have a job, you have a family, like, you have mental capacity. Like, how much do you really want to be doing this? Don't make this harder than it needs to be. Because at the end of the day, too, you always, if you still have your data and you're confident, you can always just risk more. You don't have to catch more moves. More moves don't mean more money. If you got the same exact win rate, the same exact percentage, you can just risk heavier on those same moves. Just risk more money. So this is something that like we don't really think about. I'm coming in and truthfully, a lot of people don't really take time to explain to people. And it just comes with experience as you start being in the market. Like, dang, bro, like I can make the same amount of money with 5 trades and I can make more money having 5 good trades than I can having 15 okay trades. It's like, it's things you just, as you get time or the right teacher, obviously I'm a big proponent of the right teacher because you could save a lot of time. Shoot, I wish I had me, to be honest with you. Man, I would not, I'd be way further than I am right now. Again, that's why I do what I do. But, you can do a lot more with less. You don't need to watch trades all day because it's going to kill your focus. It's going to lead to over trading. It's going to lead to too many emotional problems. So when I stopped trying to catch everything every single day, it really freed up a lot. And all I did was start setting alerts, making sure I was like journaling, make sure I'm reviewing my plan. I have like what I call game film. I like to review weekly. I really treated it as a business because I come from a business background, like, my nature. Again, I ain't saying I'm a millionaire business guy, right? But I'm a business guy. I mean, my last one I sold and started trading, and I'm continuing to get better. But I'm a businessman at nature. I just started treating like a business and not a gambling habit or like it's sports betting or a casino or something like that. Like, this is a business, man, so treat it like that. And then one more powerful thing I did was I had a framework that kept me accountable. I followed a step-by-step system. I refined and I continue to refine over time. As I learn more every day, I'm going to look at my structure. I'm going to look at my alerts, my execution, my reviews, and I'm refining things as I see them. Now, I don't refine them every day in particular. No, I gather that data. It might be week to week, it might be month to month, or it could be quarterly, depending on what exactly we are tailoring or adjusting. Because you also can overfit a system as well and make a good system bad. And some most people don't understand. You can make something good and you can make it worse. It's not hard to do either one. So, that's something I did, and I wasn't guessing, but let me, how do I want to word this? I made sure I wasn't guessing, but I was going through that process to have consistent execution, which only comes from consistent repetition. That's how I think that should be worded for that. So all that structure helped me stay consistent long enough to see profit. All of these together combined is literally how I started having like $500 days, $700 days, $1,000 days, $1,000 weeks, you know, whatever, right? Like, but that's how I started getting consistent, started making that. It started with the first $1,000, and then it just kept going, you know. And then again, you take this and you build upon it. Master this first, and you can build upon it. So if you want help getting a strong foundation for futures, make sure you join my next Futures to Freedom Challenge. If you want help learning how to actually trade the financial markets, if you're ready for one-on-one, make sure you apply to work one-on-one. You get direct help. We can go over your exact problems, what you need help with, and it's like getting a custom tailored suit. So you can apply to work with me down below as well. And if you're like, you know, a little bit early on your journey and you need a strong foundation, then make sure you join the waitlist for the foundational development program. And then that'll give you a strong foundation. And then when you're ready, you can come apply to work with me one-on-one. All right, so hope you got value from this video. Make sure you share with somebody who needs it, with somebody you love, somebody you care about, somebody you want to see win. And until next time, much love.